What should Christ's humility do for us? Paul tells us in Philippians chapter 2. This chapter is a rich and deeply moving chapter that centers on the humility of Christ and the call for believers to reflect his mindset in their relationships and service. Written by the Apostle Paul from prison, this portion of the letter urges the church in Philippi to pursue unity, selflessness, and sacrificial love. Through the example of Jesus and later Timothy and Epaphroditus, Paul outlines a blueprint for living a life that shines with the light of Christ in a dark world. Philippians chapter 2, verses 1 through 4. Paul begins by appealing to the believers' shared experience in Christ, encouragement, love, fellowship, and compassion. He calls them to be like-minded, united in love and purpose. This unity is not achieved through dominance or pride, but through humility, considering others more significant than oneself and looking to the interests of others. Paul's pastoral tone here is both tender and urgent, laying the foundation for the Christ-centered mindset that follows. Philippians chapter 2, verses 5 through 11. In one of the most profound Christological passages in the New Testament, Paul describes Jesus' humility and obedience. Though he was in the very nature God, Christ did not cling to his divine status. Instead, he emptied himself, taking on the form of a servant and becoming obedient to death, even death on a cross. Because of this, God exalted him and gave him the name above every name. This section is both theological and practical. It reveals the heart of Christ and calls believers to imitate his humility. Philippians chapter 2, verses 12 through 18. Paul transitions from Christ's example to the believer's response. He urges the Philippians to work out their salvation with fear and trembling, not as a means of earning grace, but as a response to God's work within them. He emphasizes living without grumbling or arguing, so that they may shine as lights in a crooked generation. Paul's own life is poured out in service, and he invites the church to share in his joy, even amid sacrifice. Philippians chapter 2, verses 19 through 30. To reinforce his message, Paul highlights two men who embody Christ-like humility and service. Timothy is commended for his genuine concern for others and his proven worth in gospel ministry. Epaphroditus, a messenger from the Philippians, is praised for risking his life to serve Paul. These examples show that humility and sacrificial love are not abstract ideas. They are lived out in real relationships and ministry. Hey, thank you for listening. Consider liking and following. I upload a chapter summary of the New Testament each weekday. Right now, we are working our way through the book of Philippians.